I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Madam Clerk, do your thing.
David Walker,
Here.
Mike Cunningham,
Here.
Jennifer Eden.
Here.
And Al Poole, Soren Peterson, and Chuck Schultz are all absent.
I've got two changes to the agenda under new business. Item number 3, I would like to add assessor's contract correction. Under unfinished business, I'd like to add item number 2, Cider Mill Crossing consent judgment.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and supported to approve the agenda as amended. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? The agenda is approved as amended. Approval of the consent agenda, the regular board meeting minutes from May 7th, 2019, treasurer's report, clerk's warrants and bills.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and supported to approve the consent agenda as presented. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Next, communications. Item number 1, the Planning Commission meeting synopsis from May 14th, 2019. The Planning Commission approved meeting minutes from April 9th, 2019, and the Livingston County Sheriff's Report from April 2019.
So moved.
Support.
It's been motioned and supported to receive and place communications 1 through 3 on file. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Those opposed? Public remarks. There is no one in attendance, so the assumption is probably valid. New business. Item number 1, Mabley Hill Road speed limit revision. We've had a couple people ask to have this looked at. This would be for our portion of the township. They went out there and did the driveway study, and there's 2 options. Option 1 would be to post, let's see what was option 1 there. Option 1 would be to post a 35-mile-an-hour
Right.
speed limit between Holtforth and 6209 Mabley Hill with a reduced speed ahead, 35 miles an hour, further up the road near 6429. And option 2 would be posted to 45 miles an hour from Holtforth down to Mabley Hill. The road commission recommends that we take
They like one.
Option 1.
option 1. So we can take one of the 2 options or leave it the same.
Are we gonna be able to enforce it?
Yes, we will. It'll be a posted speed limit sign, and we can put our deputy out there when we change it, just kind of remind people that there's a new speed limit there. And if
Who's-
anybody,
Who's here at random times throughout the day.
Right.
Let the records reflect.
our new deputy has been coming in off the side, as a side note, he's been coming in every week, talking to me and finding out what's going on, and he's doing a great job.
I move we, as per the recommendation, that we accept the option of number 1.
I second.
It's been motioned and supported to select option 1 to adjust the speed limit on Mabley Hill. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Next on the agenda is the lawn maintenance bids. As you can see, we've had 2 lawn bids. Murph's Turf is our current guy, and the Fenton Groundskeeper is the other guy. One is $145 cheaper a month. The problem with Murph's Turf is he doesn't answer his phone when we call him. He's hard to get a hold of, but he does cut the grass as he's.
So when did we need to, when would there be a circumstance when we have to call him?
If we had a down tree-
emergency lawn service.
If we had something that occurred in one of our cemeteries, a down tree or something, we'd call them. But now we've got Ronald's Tree Service. We've had a berm over here. We've asked them to seed it. I guess we could always use, another company if we needed little special favors. Or we can give the new company a try.
Well, sometimes we have residents that have complaints about something at the cemetery, and we simply cannot get a hold of him. His contract expired April 19th, and we called him, we emailed him, we sent him a letter, no response. So then I sent him priority mail, a letter telling him his contract, that his services were going to be terminated as of May 24th. Then he came in, but it was after we had already put it out to bid. We've tried to text him since then. He said he does respond to text messages, but I don't believe he
hasn't responded yet.
responded. And so, I don't know, it's a little frustrating when you're trying to get a hold of this. We didn't even know if he was going to be cutting our grass this year because he was not responding to us, and he basically forced us to put it out to bid.
Sure.
So.
He doesn't do any of the snow removal or anything?
No,
like
he
that?
doesn't.
Do you think we could add in the contract that he is required to call us once a week?
No. Well,
This is a monthly bid, by the way?
Yes, a monthly bid.
this is actually per week. This is
Or
how much he
yeah.
charges us per
week.
mowing. And,
Oh, okay.
so they mow weekly,
For what, 6 months?
yeah.
At least. That's,
But it is substantially
for
more.
Well,
$3,456
Yeah,
a year is the phone. I mean, we're asking the guy to cut grass. We're not hiring. You know,
No.
are we hiring him to answer the phone or cut the grass? The fact he shows up, you know, that's in today's society. Finding someone that shows up to cut the grass is a good thing.
And
I
he
guess.
knows our cemeteries. I mean, I'm willing to go ahead and give him a one-year contract and see how things go. And then if we have problems with him,
In the contract, we asked for a 30 or 60-day termination clause by either party. I think that would be fair. That way, it's like,
make
you
it
know,
very
just
clear to
forget
him
it.
that we need to get a hold of him. And if we can't, then we'll just
right.
send the
30 might be a little.
contract and.
I think
this-
I think we have it at 30 days,
That's
that either
fine.
party can, I
Something.
think that's pretty
Just as
standard.
long as we've got some standard language in all of our contracts.
I mean, guy's not doing critical time type. It's not like
No.
it's, I'm not sure it's worth $3,480 or whatever it works out to be.
No,
to-
and he hasn't raised his prices in the, 12 years since Terry's been here. The prices have stayed the same. And we actually, what?
Something's buzzing.
We actually talked to him when he came in, and told him this was his opportunity to raise his prices, and he said, no, leaving them as they are. So it's hard not to keep him.
Right. Yeah, his prices are reasonable.
Right.
And as long as he's getting work done.
I'll move that for 1 year with a 30-day proviso of cancellation, we renew Murph's turf.
I'll second.
Been motioned and supported to renew Murph's turf with a 30-day cancellation on a 1-year contract. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed? That motion carries. All right, here we go. Item number 3 is the assessor's contract. Mercy found a error in the contract that
And I
she wanted to.
didn't
I didn't get a copy of
read
that, but that's okay.
but
Just tell us what it is.
we, last year, we renewed the assessor's contract for a 5-year period, and the first year, because the prior contract, we had inadvertently omitted 1 year, with a 3% increase, the final year was, not correct. So we incorrectly started out his new contract at the prior year's rate. So we're a year behind with the contract, so I'm just wanting to amend it so that, the contract reflects the actual 3% that he should be getting.
I think that was by design, wasn't it? Did he say that? Did you talk to him about it?
I think you're right.
Yeah,
I think that's the
that
way he was intended.
I don't think he intended not to get a raise that 1 year, though. I think he intended to get 3%
You know,
each year.
think we renewed it that way. I told him I would give him a 5-year, but if.
No, the 5 year's fine. It's the rate
It was
that
the
we're
last
paying
year,
him.
it was the last year of the rate that started it on the previous
We
contract?
missed, let's see, it was 5 years, then we missed year 4 in the
So
original.
that set it back, I
So that set
gotcha.
it back, so then when we renewed it, we picked up what we thought year 5 was from the previous contract.
So what's the motion?
Just to, amend the assessor contract to reflect the 3% raise that he should be getting, in each year. Because actually.
Would it
paying
be
him,
to
um,
retroactive, or retro to correct the 3% that was missed every year? Hello? Something's coming through the speakers, it sounds like. You got a cable somewhere? Microphone? I think it's coming through the speakers. You got a bad. And for the record, our trustee Walker's just not walking around aimlessly. He's searching for a buzz that's in the building.
Don't discount the possibility that she's
Searching for a buzz in the building, yeah. Not that kind.
I can't find it.
I have my spreadsheet, I don't know if you can see it, but the contract that we entered into last June, the first year from June 1st of 18 to May of 2019, that 49,805, that actually was not the right rate. It should have started, as you can see below, at 51,300.
All right,
So
so would
that's-
you amend your motion to say that we're going to amend the assessor's contract to fix the missed 3% raise subsequent to each year going forward? Would that be fair?
Was it, just to be clear, was it wrong in the contract, or did we just do
It
the
was wrong in the
calculation? Oh, okay, then, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So say that you amend it,
Okay, I will amend my motion to.
what I said.
To what Mike said. Do you have that, Terry?
Yeah.
But what did Mike
It was to amend the assessor's contract to reflect the 3% that was missed in the subsequent, the following years. To include following. Correct. That sounds pretty darn good.
Support.
All right, it's been motioned and supported to amend the assessor's contract. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Unfinished business, item number 1, Bentley Sand and Gravel. As you know, we had been in litigation with Bentley Sand and Gravel after many years of enforcement to try and get them to become compliant with the site plan. Our attorney, Mr. Woodmore, helped us negotiate with our planning commission some terms that we think that are suitable. They have to amend their current site, they had to temporarily amend their current site plan. Next year, they're required to do a flyover topo of the property and provide us with an updated site plan. They're allowed to do concrete crushing, asphalt crushing within certain hours. All slopes have to be set to a suitable slope, which I can't recall if it was 2-on-1 or what do we have for that?
Didn't we write in the site plan that they had, that they're gonna give
Yes.
us a revised copy of?
Yep. So, and I think we addressed everything. We also allowed them to do some mulching, because they wanted to be in the mulch business. We basically asked them, it seems like with them, we would permit them to do something, and then they would turn around and do something, and then we'd be messed again. So I think we finally got everything out of them that they plan to do in the future. Incorporated it in the site plan. We have storage surplus pile sizes that we're allowing them within reason. And I think we got a pretty good deal with them, and it allows them to get back to work. We've had to basically shut down in part because they were not permitted to do it. The nice thing about it, this will be a court order. If they do not comply with the provisions set forth in the order, they'll be held in contempt. We can take them back on contempt charges, and we will ask for attorney fees.
There is a proposed consent judgment in the packet that was distributed. I did change the caption of it from what it states there to consent judgment, because this will be by consent. Bentley Sand and Gravel will agree to these terms.
Okay. Not,
Change the caption.
I'm sorry. Just curiosity more than anything else. How do we, when I read through it, how do we verify the 200 tons maximum?
Our engineer can take a look at it, and he kind of
Okay.
knows.
Okay, I was
They
just,
know what 200 tons of rock looks like. or-
okay, okay, I'm
you
just
know.
curious. So. It just seems so broad. It just, you know, you say potato, I say potato. Okay. Okay. What else we need? We need a motion?
Yeah, I'll
So
just say,
moved.
yep, okay.
Support.
It's been motioned and supported to approve the Bentley Sand and Gravel consent judgment with the modifications that our attorney said.
Yes.
Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, that motion carries. Item number 2 is the Cider Mill Crossing consent judgment. As you know, when Cider Mill bought, when Sun Communities bought Cider Mill, we amended a contract which kind of worked with them a little bit to, get the homes that they needed in there. And that community has grown leaps and bounds, and they're in their final phase of their site plan. Now that they're built out, they're gonna have roughly 500 and something units in there with an occupancy of an average of 3 per unit. That one entrance that they have is a bit crowded. It's also a school bus stop. So they have come to the township. There's an emergency exit that was there off of Old US 23, and they wanted to use that as an alternate entrance exit. So they've talked with the fire chief, they've talked with the road commission, they've both signed off on it. They've met with our planning commission and addressed the concerns that our planning commission has had, and would like to amend our current consent agreement, which states that that's only to be used as an emergency exit, to now be used as a full-time entrance and exit with the upgrades that you're suggesting. Do you have something you wanted to add to, Jeff?
Yeah, page 2, the date.
Yes, I found the date that the third amendment was entered by the court, and the copy that's in your packet just has the blank day of blank. The day is the 18th day of January, 2012.
Oh,
So on page 2 where you see
Yep.
blanks, just fill in the 18th day of January, 2012.
So, everything's in order, all the planning commission has given their acceptance of it, fire marshal's given their acceptance of it, and the road commission's given their acceptance to it.
and we reviewed the plan a couple meetings ago,
We did.
right? So this is the same one. Okay. So moved.
Support.
It's been motioned and supported to approve the Cider Mill Crossing consent judgment. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, that motion carries. Miscellaneous business, none. Public remarks,
Not likely.
not likely, no one here. So I will entertain the motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Been motioned and supported to adjourn our meeting. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those
Aye.
opposed, no opposition, meeting's adjourned. Thank you all for coming.
I was hoping we could go for a conference call, so
So yeah, I'm glad that we finally got
having no fun.
something going with Bentley Sand and Gravel, so are you gonna get a hold of Mr. Ray and have him drop by your office and sign a
I'll